T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Rock the world, rock the world. With me, no worries, come with me. No worries, just come with me. No worries, just come with me.
Hey y'all, happy Monday. You already know what day it is. It is Monday, 7 p.m., and it is time for the King and Me show. Y'all, I am one half of this dynamic duo, but the best half of this whole entire duo is King, and it's me, Michelle. How are y'all? Well, how y'all doing? So, the premise here of the King and Me show, for those who don't know, let me just go back and do this one more again. His name is King. That's the name he pays taxes in. My name is Michelle. My last name is R.E.A.L, so me, M.E. And this is the King and Me show, where we believe in offering a healthy outlook on real relationships. Real being relatable, entertaining, accountable, heavy emphasis on that accountable, and loving. So today, y'all are tuning in as we are continuing from what we did last week. Y'all, if you missed last week's show, you're like the only person in America who did, because King uploaded a snippet on Instagram and that thing went all the way viral, to the point where even now we still have someone who in vain is responding to messages trying to dig herself out of a hole. And I can say that here because King is busy with something and he's
I don't think she perceives it that way, but it is what it is.
Me. So I will say this: it garnered a lot of comments, a lot of shares, a lot of feedback, and we are so grateful for every single person who always comments. Like, I joke a lot, but we're sincerely grateful for every single person who commented, every single person who watched. And again, if you're not familiar with the show, we are a couple. We are not married, but we are doing life together, and we have chosen to share some of the tips and tricks that we've learned along the way to help everyone find success and realize that this dating pool is not as bad as it appears. I mean, granted, on a good day, dating over 35 appears to be like the grimiest, dirtiest little shallow waiting area that you could ever imagine, but the reality is there are some good people in there. So that's what we're about. That's what we're here to talk about. So let's go ahead and dive in. When we do our lives, like I said, King was so busy getting some things together. He's amazing, and he has things just work better when he puts his touch on it.
All right, pause. First of all, thank you.
Oh, you know I got this.
So,
you know I got this.
I was trying to get some of the technical pieces going here. We are live for the first time on Instagram, doing it a little bit different. Quality's not there, but we'll build it over time. All right. So we normally do this live stream every Monday, and our topics are, we have some pre-picked topics, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we decided to make today's more about one of our Instagram posts that has been getting a lot of comments, especially from the guys, the fellas out there,
who all seem to be on the same page. So,
in which I said that one of the things that I regret in my marriage was staying silent. And one of the reasons why I was doing that was because I would feel as though if I tried to say something, the conversation would get turned around back on me instead of addressing the thing that I was bringing up and talking about.
I'm sorry. Can I clarify for a moment? Because that seems to be like the little sticking point with the one person who IG. It wasn't just an assumption that you made that it was going to turn that the conversations were going to come back on you. It's a you did this like
There was a pattern.
it was a pattern of you two would talk, you would confront her about something, and then she would throw stuff back in your face. So over a period of time, you decided not to do it anymore. Is that correct? Okay, thank
Correct.
you. Because this person who literally made 1,000,001 inferences from a 1 minute clip of an over 6 minute show, I feel like we just go ahead and clear the air. You said that your biggest regret was not up all the time in your marriage because there were points you did speak up. It was a marriage. Obviously, there were times where you spoke up, but then it got to the point where why am I going to speak up as any person who exhibit the same behavior over definition of insanity, exhibiting the same behavior, I think you're going to stop. That's natural. For instance, this person, my personal opinion, posting stuff, let's see, especially without proper knowledge. So, from a point of ignorance, I refuse to respond anymore. Parentheses, Michelle. I refuse to respond anymore.
And you shouldn't. And the reason why I pinned her comment was if you go to the King and Me's Instagram page and you look at how she's talking, it's that type of communication style that are making men go, yeah, we don't want to deal with that. And it's kind of what this topic is about today.
Exactly.
It's how we can communicate and help understand each other. So if I'm understanding this right, today the spotlight is going to be primarily
all on you,
on me, and it's about the fellas tonight.
Yes.
So
that's exactly.
right.
It's kind of today is more interview style, so that I can get male perspective on things.
Okay.
Because I saw the feedback that men had that clip, and it stood out to me, and I felt like, granted, you can't speak for all of the men in the entire world, but I would love for you to give some perspective because just that 1 minute clip alone garnered so many men, like literally men popping into our inbox sharing that this is how they felt. Like they felt the same way. They felt like they were literally going through that right now in their own way. So I wanted to be able to offer that opportunity for people to feel like they could share, like they could be heard.
All right.
So
Dope. Well, we normally start out with our let's get deep questions. Are we going to cut into that too? Oh, you already ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay.
So the first question is, did you ever collect anything? What and why?
When I was growing up, I used to collect Pokemon. But now, no, I don't have anything I collect. I'm not a collector of baseball cards or anything like that. At my grown age of 40, in which I still feel like a kid most of the time, if I were to collect something, I would try to collect something that would build value as an asset. So I would maybe look for certain baseball cards or sign things that could appreciate over time that in 10 to 15 years, I don't have any real sentimental value on it. I'm just hoping that it collects and appreciates so I can sell it down the line and buy me a boat. How about you?
All right, Pimpin. So I collect keychains.
Keychains. I should know this answer.
Yes.
Keychains and elephants.
Keychains and elephants with the trunk up. That is what I collect. And mine is purely sentimental. I have keychains from all the places where I've been and all the places other people have been as well because I love to collect it and be able to look back at it later. And it's typically not just the keychain that says Baltimore. It's the keychain that kind of like represents what that city or state. Oh.
Okay. Tarika said she collects pens.
Nice.
Then, so Tarika, did I announce it?
What?
What I'm doing later on?
No.
Don't announce it?
No.
I want to, okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna hit you up offline.
All right. Number two, what's the best purchase you've ever made and why?
The best purchase I have ever made and why. Whatever the court fee was that ended my marriage.
Here you go.
Look, I say that as a joke. Me and my ex-wife were cordial. If you're new to our live stream, me and my ex-wife were cordial. All right. Let's see. Best purchase I've ever made and why? Ooh, that's tough. I buy a lot of tech stuff, but I wouldn't call it like my best purchase. I've bought a bond that I renew every 5 years that I've done since I was 18. That thing, it ain't really appreciated in anything.
It's a bond, of course not.
But I know that whenever it matures, if I, for some reason, get in a bond, I know I've got that money that, I can tap into. And it's not even much. It's $1,000. But I just keep renewing it, and it keeps getting me like
18 cents, baby. All right, let's see. The best thing I've ever purchased and why? I don't think about stuff like that. I don't think I have. Sorry to be.
Okay.
All right. If you were to donate all of your money to one cause, which would you pick and why?
It'd be a veterans club or something like that, like the BFW or the DAV. But more specifically, I think I would go the DAV, the Disabled American Veterans. I think that they do a really good cause and fight for our nation's veterans. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran myself, and the work that I've seen those people do, both young and old, for everybody that served to make sure that this country's taking care of them when they've sacrificed and given their all, I think that that's a cause that I can.
Okay. I were to do it, I would probably give all of my money, which is I can't say what the R stands for.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think I can say what any of those initials stand for, but it's RAINN. And it's something that hits close to home because I serve on the Speaker Bureau for that. So if given the opportunity to share my story about some of the things that have happened to me in my past, then I do that and I'm able to work with them. And I love the things that they do for survivors of those words that I can't say. So if you've ever been to my profile, you'll know exactly what words I'm referring to that I can't necessarily say on Instagram, but I would call my money so that they could help.
Where's your glasses at? Somebody want to know.
My glasses, I have a pair in my bag and a pair in my car. So about my glasses, right? Fun fact, I haven't had them on all day. I didn't have them on all day Friday either. I walked around blind. And like when I was in class, the students, I would say to them, so yeah, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see anything. So if it takes me a while to come to you, it's I can't see.
Okay.
But I'm good. All good. All is well. I'm fine.
Dope. All right. Now, are there any more comments to highlight before we get into the meat and potatoes?
The fact that your uncle just asked if you had my glasses is hilarious.
What up, Unc?
Hey, Uncle Nate, how are you?
My bad. I thought that was Tarika. That does say Nathaniel.
Well, no, she did ask earlier, so I thought that's why you brought it up, because she did ask earlier.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. So if you missed our opening, today we are kind of piggybacking off of what we talked about last week. Last week we got into regrets in relationships, which led to King going viral. Absolutely loved it. And I wanted to put him, not literally, but in a hot seat to be able to kind of speak to us on behalf of the male perspective on relationships, communicating, and all those good things. So I'm going to kind of start with a softball question.
Yeah.
So what are the most important aspects of a relationship as a man?
For me as a man, I value respect. If we're going to be in this relationship, and you're going to ask certain things of me, then what I want and what I value is to have the respect to be able to make the decisions that I think we need to make. Notice I didn't say I feel. That I think that needs to be made for this relationship. And I need for you to trust that. I need for you to trust that I'm going to make a decision that's going to have both you and me in mind. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Early on, I always make this joke about the trains going one way. All right. Yet early on, you did something that was kind of dope that I don't think young couples are going to be able to do because it's hard. You gave me trust early on. You said, here's my trust, don't break it. And I knew that you did that. I saw that you gave it to me, and you allowed me to take that trust and nurture it and grow it and not break it. It's like, hey, King, here's my trust. I'm going to trust and believe that you're going to keep this thing and keep it sacred and not screw me over. A guy that understands what that means should realize who he has looking across at him and honor that. And I did. It's one of the reasons why, for as much as I didn't want to be in a relationship, because you showed that to me early on, I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't kick her to the curb.
Well, ouch.
I should see where this goes and see if what I'm being presented is the real deal. Because it could have been fake, and I believe I would have been able to spot that and say, yeah, you know what? This ain't going to work for me. Good luck, and all of that jazz. So for me, I value the respect that you showed me and the respect that you showed the relationship. Even though we've had, folks say that relationships aren't easy and that they're hard. I don't think that they should be stressful. I think that as two people do come together, because our values aren't fully the same and things like that, there's going to be some bumps in the road. But I expect that. Yet when we come across those bumps, if we can't smooth them out, there's a problem.
So I want to first start by saying your father, Uncle Nate, said, "Nephew, you so romantic. You should write for Hollywood." And then the other thing I'll tell you, but I know it's going to distract you. I want to hear it.
Sure.
Tarika said my mic is kind of going out a little bit, but that could be partially me because I do sometimes whisper a little bit.
Yes.
So don't dwell on it. I just
Okay.
want to let you know. Comment.
All
right. So gloves are off. No more softball. What are some common misconceptions about what men need in relationships, and what do we challenge?
Okay, so let me start with
I'm sorry. How do we challenge?
All right, so for the first part, I think we hear way too often the conversation around sex and that every man just needs and that they're leading with sex, and that as long as you can, keep that going in a man, you can keep that man. No. All right. You should think about the whole person concept, the whole aspect, right? We've talked about on our channel that there's several pillars around what we think can lead to a healthy relationship. And it's an understanding of communication, it's an understanding of finances, and it's an understanding of intimacy. And intimacy, well, from what I had to learn, isn't just sex. It's, understanding the other person's physical touch aspect, right? Like, you like to be touched. You like to be held. If you don't get 7 touch points in a day, you can sometimes glitch.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds really bad. It sounds really bad, but it's true.
So for me, I have an understanding of that, and make the attempts to showcase that. And you've called me out if you feel as though I have not done that. And there is nothing wrong with that. You're like, King, I have observed that throughout the day, you didn't touch me that much. Are we okay? And one time, like I was working through something in my mind, and I respected that you brought it up and that you said something. All right. So the first part of your question, the common misconception is that men lead with sex. No. In my opinion, when I'm talking to the fellas, a lot of the things that we talk about is the respect that the lady is showing the relationship and showing us. In my opinion, men don't care a lot about love. Men care more about respect. Now, there was a second part to your question.
How do we challenge or debunk that thought specifically that men only care about or men always sex? How do we challenge? How do, as a collective or we as women, how do we challenge that?
Do what you do often, ask questions. But ask questions really, if you ask the questions, we'll give you the cheat code to what I need from you. It's that simple. Say, hey, tell me about your day. And if I just go, it was fine, which a lot of guys will say, hey, okay, it was what it was. You're likely going to get that, right? It was what it was. More often, there could have been a lot of other things, and I'm just going, I don't want to bore you with that. And if you're somebody that really is inquisitive and you want to know, and that's all that I give you, okay. Then throughout the day, hey, what do you need from me today? And if I say silence, give me silence.
Silencio.
Silencio. How do you, what is it in?
Legitimately, I think it's like off.
Yeah. And honor that. Be inquisitive. Listen to what the other person is saying and honor that. And really, that goes both ways. That goes both ways. I should be coming to you from time to time and do what I like to call touch points. Hey, how you doing? What's going on with you? Anything that you need from me that I haven't given you in a while, talk to me. And I should listen. It's interesting that we have all of these communication tools, cell phones, cameras. We got 3 cameras up right now.
Bam, bam,
live
bam.
streaming, that whole nine. We're not the only people that's talking about this stuff. And I think people have the knowledge, but they're not practicing. We do a good job of practicing it. This live stream is us practicing it.
Yeah.
Right?
And actually fulfilling communication. So I have a follow-up to what you just said. One of the things that I heard you say is that sometimes women will say, how is your day or something like that. And as an educator, we're taught that if you want to inquire about how a student is doing, and even in retail, it's something that we were taught, ask open-ended questions. So a closed-ended question would be something that can only be answered with typically a yes or no or a very brief answer. And you should switch that question, ask an open-ended question, which prompts the person to typically give a longer response.
Like what?
So an example of a closed-ended question would be, do you want French fries from McDonald's? Yes or no, right? However, if you were to reverse that question, say, what would you like from McDonald's? That forces the person to say more than just yes or no. And I thought of that because as you're talking about how is your day, even though that's not a yes or no question, it typically is going to garner a, it was okay, it was fine. How would men feel if we still got the same, but came about asking the question differently? The best part of your day. I know you'll hear me ask you that sometimes because if I ask you how your day is, you're either going to say, oh, it was slow today, or busy, but just the way I like it because the day goes. But if I really care, if I really want to delve deeper, and if I have the time to process whatever the conversation, my question is, best part of your day and why? How do men feel about something like that where we're genuinely trying to guide and steer the conversation?
Ooh, see, that's tough because It depends on what I think that man is thinking or doing in that moment, right? So Nate's an entrepreneur. He's out there.
Uncle Nate.
He's managing different things, right? He's got customers and things like that. When he comes home, he might want to kick his feet up, take a shower, have a meal or something, spend some time with his lady, whatever.
You just processed
It was your
that?
face. No, I looked at your face and then I processed what I said. And is he going to want to talk?
Yeah.
Right? And then on the flip side of that, how are you going to feel if you do approach me and I just say, hey, babe, thanks for asking. Right now, I just need to just download for a second and chill. And I stop right there. I could have the opportunity to say, come back at me in about 15 minutes. Okay, if I'm thinking about that, that would be the best way for me to say that. But it's tough to answer your question because it will depend on when you're coming in, and you don't know how I'm gonna come in the house from being outside or whatnot. I work from home, so it's different. But to know if that man is gonna have the capacity to want to say anything. A majority of guys, if you ask them, good, fine, chilling, it was all right, I had a good day. That's how a majority of men speak. Ladies are kind of the opposite. If I know that if I really want to ask you that question, I know I need to carve out time so that I can actually hear what and I'm using made up names, what Cindy did, how your student Ashley, had impacted your day, the way that this other teacher or adult that's on this board said your name wrong. It just, I know I'm going to hear all the details. So I have to be prepared and ready for that.
Okay.
For the most part, ladies, guys, we're short. And it's no disrespect to you. It depends on how that guy communicates. I try to say more than, it was a good day. Because I know you really want to know. You're not just asking. I told you I thought it was weird that every time you call, you're like, hey, babe,
How are you?
how are you? Yeah, every time. I'm like, we just talked 3 hours ago.
But you could have changed. Like, your mood could have changed between then and now. But no, I hear you. So I think that that's a big thing. We have to understand that men and women communicate differently. Women typically do want those longer conversations, but men, your mind isn't always on that. And I think it's partially, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're carrying a lot more weight than we are. There's a lot more responsibility that fall on a man than a woman, especially a black man in today's society. You all are carrying all of that with you, trying to find a way to somehow check some of that at the door before you come in family, but then also still holding on to that to an extent.
Yep.
That makes sense? Okay.
There's a comment right there. Can you read it out from Nate?
Hold on. The comment says facts, but I did learn to tough it out when
Tough it out when I was married because
Yes.
it meant something
to
to her.
Okay.
And it's up to that guy, it's up to that man to understand that. It's up to that man to honor, cherish, and respect the fact that his lady's really asking about him because y'all are analyzing, y'all are looking, y'all are trying to make sure that if you care and you love that man, you want to make sure that you can fill the void, connect the dots, do the things to relax that man's mind. You do a good job of that, right?
Because your well-being means a lot to me.
Thank you.
How you're doing that type of stuff does matter because I know I got stories for days. I do way too much in life. I have stories for days. So part of me asking every time I call, how are you? Like, okay, based on his answer, can you handle this bag of stuff that I have that I would like to unload? His answer is, otherwise, then nope, he can't handle that right now. Let me just keep it light and airy.
Now, I don't know how we started this, but we introduced the question, do you have the capacity to hear something?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how we got started that either, but I love that.
But I love that we do that. Now, I can't think of a time where it's been a no, where we've said, hey, not right now, but maybe whatever. Those have been rare, but
Yeah.
at least it puts us in the mindset of, okay, because like I'm a gamer, right? So if I'm gaming, but you really need to talk to me, then, and I hear those words, then I know, hey, fellas, I'm gonna need a sec. I'll be right back. Or if I'm doing something, because I can't chew gum and walk. So if I'm cooking or if I'm doing whatever, which y'all should have laughed if I said if I'm cooking, because I don't cook.
I was trying not to laugh on camera.
But if I'm in the middle of doing something
Yeah.
and you say that, then I know I need to stop so that I can give you the attention to really process and hear what it is that you're saying.
Yeah.
And honor that. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Great answers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, with that, and if you feel like you've already answered this, let me know. What kind of support do you appreciate most from a partner? It says your partner, a partner.
All right. I like you to genuinely be interested in what I have going on. For example, I do sports commentary for a semi pro team. You like football in general, right?
Go Ravens.
But to show up to an event where it might be raining, it might be kind of cold, it's a 3 hour drive. Like, I look forward to that kind of stuff because it's fun to me. There's really nothing there for you, but you showed up and brought the snacks, asked me what I needed, went and got me something to eat so that I didn't have to go get it and everything like that. And all I had to focus on and keep my mind on was just doing a good job of doing the sports commentary. I legit had to think about nothing else, right? Doing that kind of stuff, I recognize it. I see that. I cherish that, right? So to answer your question, it was a little bit more to it because if I see you see that and you at least try to be, okay, well, what is it that I can do? Then I'm like, all right, that's cool because it tells me that I can do things and have your support without you feeling like I'm doing things and not thinking about you. Like this social media stuff. On The King and Me, you and I both share responsibilities on certain things. We're co-producers in this, right? If we were to put it on a plate, not to measure it, I do a majority of the technical things, right? Yeah. But you have the creative mind that I could go, hey, I need a thumbnail or something, and you can go, boom. Hey, Michelle, can you give us our topics and put it on a shared doc, and then we can pull out those topics. Boom, you got that set up. You can do that. I know I can ask something of you, and you'll get it done. There hasn't been a time where you haven't gotten it done. Also, faster than when like I really be expecting it. And that's great for me because I know that if I want to focus on doing something, you and I talked about running a business together. I've got an MBA. I've always worked for the government, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? We could build a bit. This could be that business that we build together. This can grow into a brand. We're wearing shirts.
Damn.
You know, that has our name on it. I respect that. That right there is all that I need. But I think for men in general, if men know that their lady can hold things down, can support them, ladies, it's a whole cheat code out here that if you can support a man, an honorable man, it has to be an honorable man because there are some men, you can give them everything that they ask for and they still gonna not honor that commitment.
Interject, or as my pastor likes to say, I'm going to put my kickstand down for a second.
Come on.
Define an honorable man.
It's so simple.
Go ahead.
An honorable man is a man that does what he agreed to do with you.
Okay.
Simple.
Kickstand up. Go ahead. Proceed.
Simple. So if you are giving that man, that honorable man, everything, he'll give you the world. He will break his back for you. Literally, you've heard men say this. A man that gets everything from his woman will break his back for you.
Okay. So I do want to correct you on something very lovingly. I know, like I never correct on air because I actually hate that.
What's
But
up?
I do want to correct you on something. Said that when we went on that 3-hour road trip to Pennsylvania for the game and it was cold and rainy, there was nothing in it for me. That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not true.
What?
Spending time with you is
Yes.
everything. Like
Yes.
that means world to me. So I looked at it as that's 3 hours up, 3 hours back. That's 6 hours right there, plus the duration of the. That's quality time that I get to spend with. Even if he's not paying me any attention because he's watching the game, I was sitting there bundled up and I had my little television going. I was goofy, like I was fine, but I got to spend time with you. So I did get something.
Cool.
I did that.
Yep.
And I think you had a very great point in what you said that, men, you're very straightforward and that if a man is honorable, meaning that what you've asked for him, he said we should honor that and we should always fill the needs of that man. There is something you said cheat code. And sometimes people hear shows like this and they're like, oh, that doesn't apply. I'm in a godly relationship, all this and that. Well, so here's my caveat to that. And not even a caveat, but pulling out facts. One thing that I've mentioned many, many times that you played back for me is the Proverbs 31 woman. Proverbs 31 did exactly what you said. Exactly what she was that person who rose before her husband to make sure that the home was taken care of. She made sure everything inside the home was taken care of and then still went out and handled her business. She did everything so meticulous and so well that her husband had an amazing reputation in the community of what she did. A woman, or excuse me, your woman can be the person who makes your name positive or negatively known. Women, we carry more weight than we understand, and I think in the depths of what we can do positively or negatively, don't walk in that strength. That the cheat code exists. Yes, the cheat code exists in what most would say the secular world, but it also exists in the spiritual and in the religious world as well. It's right there in Proverbs 31 about what a woman or her husband. Throw that out there.
Yeah, and look, I did some recon on you prior to us, going now.
You found my halo. That's what you saying.
I still also needed to get to know you because you can't let somebody's outside influence dictator impact y'all like your viewpoint on someone.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did do some recon on you for that purpose, right? Like, I'm gonna just say this straight up. This isn't you, but if you were known to be a harlot wearing the H, out there, like I didn't want to come into it be like, hey, I don't know. Does King know he like number 90 in line? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I know what you mean.
So yeah, I did do a little bit of recon on you. Yeah.
What do societal expectations how do societal expectations, stereotypes impact men's perception of their needs in relationships? So how do what men see going on around them impact what they believe they need in a relationship?
I think to answer that question, I need to break it down and say it like this. From the outside in, it almost seems like men are expected to be robots. Men can't have feelings about anything. You can't express your emotions about something. You've got to tough it out and be a man. And well, if you were a man, you would not be silent and tell that woman what it is that's on your mind. Put your hand in the air like this, turn it upside down, and cuff your balls and say something. I think that society expects men to act that way, right? Men have emotions. It's interesting though because you will hear, don't open up to a woman. Don't share your emotions with that woman because at the first sign of trouble or something going bad, she's gonna turn right back around and use that against you. And it's tough because I should be able to be vulnerable with the person that I'm sleeping next to. Yet, too often, you hear men say that when they are vulnerable to somebody, at the first sign of that somebody not getting what they want or there's trouble in paradise, and blah, 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 when you XYZ, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why did you go there? Why did you decide to push that button? So it makes it tough for men that are single, not in a relationship, to then get in a relationship and be vulnerable with the next person. I've seen it. It's happened to me. It was difficult for me to make the decision to be vulnerable with you because in the back of my mind, I'm like, the anvil drops. What vulnerability or what button is she gonna push? Because in my mind, everybody's capable.
Okay. You said something that stands out to me, and I have so many metaphors, but I'm gonna try to stick to the script. You mentioned you should be able to be vulnerable with the person that you're sleeping to, which led me to recall the fact that when we're at our most peak, especially if we're in like that deep REM sleep, we don't have full capability, everything our bodies, and we definitely are left up to the wise of whatever may happen around us. So just that image that we should be vulnerable with the person that we're sleeping. That person, if they're not asleep, they have control over life or unlife as it pertains. Should be up the most. They're the most with them. Feel in general, so broadly speaking, feel like I'm sorry, do you feel like men are not able to truly be themselves? Like they always have to walk around with a shell or some kind of mask on?
I think that the way society talks about masculinity, yes,
Okay.
men do feel as though they have to have that mask. They have to be stoic. They have to be masculine because the first sign of that man cracking, right? Are you going to then get the sense from me that, ooh, that's a weak man. I don't know if I can trust him to protect me. I think that's how men are seeing things. That's how they're hearing um, other women talk about men in general. So they feel as though they have to show up that way. And my counter to that is no, you don't. My counter to that, be yourself. Okay? Be 100% yourself. And it's up to that other person, that lady, to decide if what you offer is good enough for her. If it ain't, she's doing you a favor by telling you it's not as early as she can so that you don't then proceed to give her what I think is your most precious asset in life is your time. If you can find out that early about her and she doesn't think that what you offer is good enough and she tells you that, then her walking away and going to go find somebody else is 100% fine. But you don't always have to show up stoic. You don't always have to, what was that Disney movie? Be a man. You don't always have to.
So I like that. And one of the things that I think about is the word perception, right? Perception means that I look at something like everyone looks at something a different way. You remember there was that whole controversy about the dress. Like, is it blue or is it, what was it, like silver?
Yeah,
or
white
something?
and gold
White and
or
gold.
blue and black. Yeah.
No one could tell because everyone had a different perception, right? So I see this tattoo your arm. And I look at it and I'm just like, why he got Chinese characters on him? But the reality is you have Japanese written on you, and the Japanese stands for something. So when we all view, why is it that, and I say this so respectfully,
Let's hear it.
why is it that men are so about how they're perceived by other people? And I get it. There's so many different reasons that could probably. Why are men so about what other people may think about them, how they're perceived by other people, to the point where they cannot or do not feel safe enough themselves?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. Oh man. In my opinion, I think most men, if you grew up with other men around you, if you had a strong male figure and strong men around you, you could look at those men and see that that man's living their own journey, right? They're walking their path, and it's distinctive what that path is. So when you're coming of age and you're growing up, you want to be able to walk your own path and have people respect the path that you walk on. But what comes with that? What respect comes with that as well? And how can I bring somebody into that and get them to essentially buy into what my path is? And that's tough, but we're constantly thinking about that. When I was younger, I think I cared more about what I was doing, how it was being perceived, what my legacy was, which I don't believe in leaving a legacy now, unless you're Walton or Zuckerberg or somebody like that. Like 3 generations from now, unless I were to win the Powerball and start a foundation and it's in my name and I could pass that down, ain't nobody gonna know who I am in 4 generations from now, right? That's how I look at it. But I think that most men are thinking about that. So how they're perceived matters, because you don't, if you're a man that cares, you don't want to be an embarrassment to your name. Like, I care about my name. You won't hear anybody besmirch King Smith out there, because I'm not out here living life reckless and doing things that I shouldn't be doing. It sucks that other people can live life and can coast. Like, people talk about the image of the Pookie and the Ray Rays and things like that, and how Pookie and Ray Rays can still somehow seem to skate through life with limited talent and no accountability for the most part, and still not have the bad things of life perceived happen to them. But I care about how my name's viewed, and I want to be able to know that, and this is, I call it vain, call it whatever, but that what I bring out in the world is attractive, right? And that can attract somebody who wants to be around this. So the fact that you want to be around this, great, right? And if you decide that, hey, this ain't what you want, I said it on the last live stream, I'd say deuces. I noticed something you started doing too.
What did I start doing?
In the morning, you send me 3 words. The last 2 or 3 mornings, you said, I choose you. I ain't say nothing, but I noticed it. And I like that. I like that you wake up in the morning and you choose to be with me. I'm going to tell you, Michelle, I will honor this relationship, but I'm not jumping through hoops putting on the clown face to get you to stay with me. I'm going to be me. It is my hope that that's enough for you. If it ain't, train's going that way.
How? So I hear you say that. I hear you tell me about the things that that I do and that I started incorporating, because I wake up, and let me just give you a quick rundown of what my morning like. When I wake up, I roll over and I'm like, thank you, Lord. Like, hey, you didn't have to wake me up this morning, but you did, so thank you. and I will say a prayer in my head. I roll over, I grab my phone, and lately, just as you said, I will shoot you a text message. I choose you. And then I will quickly get up and run to the bathroom because by that time the water has run through me and it is time. So I'm like, okay, let me go take care of this. And I wait to hear back from you. When I hear back from you later with you sending me your sleep data, I utter another prayer where I say, "Thank you, Lord, because He allowed you to, and I'm able to spend another day with you, whether we're physically in each other's presence or we're not." That's what my morning like. In addition to doing all the other things that I do. One thing that I saw a restaurant say one time, especially as we are in Pride Month, one thing that I saw a restaurant say is that we can't promise you a safe place because I can't protect nobody. Like I can't physically should not allow me to protect anyone, but apparently it's a part of my job. But I can't protect you, right? So I can't promise you that everything is going, but we say that we should be able to offer a brave space. So somewhere, a space where someone can, like, they are their bravest. They can be their truest version
Okay.
of themselves. They can offer up the best that they have to the other people in the room. So this is what I say to my students, like, this is a brave space. Whatever you need to say, whatever you need to do, even though I don't curse, I allow profanity in my classroom, minus three hard words. Um, I allow profanity because I want people, like, they can be themselves and they don't have to put airs. Not speaking about me, but in general, what can we be able to offer men that brave space where they can they truly the protector of the home? Because again, men, we have all these women, not me, women have all these expectations of what a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to pay the bills. A man is supposed to be the protector. A man is supposed to be the head of the household. A man is supposed to fix everything. A man is supposed to mow every single grass that exists. A man is supposed to be able to, if there's a spider crawling, he's supposed to be able to get it. A man is supposed to do all of these things. How do we create a space where you all
Okay.
feel brave enough to give us those moments of vulnerability and where
Okay.
you're honest and yourself?
Here's the tough answer. The tough answer is, yeah, man, I don't know how to say this. There's a moment that you might have doubt, that you may want to express that doubt. If you have doubt in your mind about anything that man's doing, whoo, how do I say this?
Say it.
Figure out a way to communicate your thoughts without the doubt. Because the moment that you start really doubting stuff, it changes the way you are. Like, think of it like an aura, like
Yeah.
a glow or something, and you can see that aura of doubt around you. It's going to start making that man question what it is that he's doing, right? And then if he's not a strong-willed or a strong-minded person in that moment, that could start chipping away at certain blocks that he has. Now, if he's a strong-willed and a strong-minded person, he should be able to tell you what's going on and what the plan is. And hey, baby, look, I know I just lost my job. I know that we're working off of savings right now. Right now, you're working, and I'm out here trying to do X, Y, Z. As long as he is a strong-willed and strong-minded person, and he has that plan, he should be able to communicate that back to you if you're expressing wanting to know what the plan is. In my opinion, I think that ladies just need to know that there is a plan. If it's not a good plan and you think it's not a good plan, don't say that. Or find a different way of trying to change the plan up a bit in a way that might be something that you better be on board with.
I do that.
But but I think for the most part, men can sense
Yeah.
when the doubt's there, and then now they're thinking about that doubt and things instead of really focusing on trying to get things done. So I think that if women could really keep that doubt away, that doubt off the table, find another way to express their thoughts without expressing it in doubt, I think that that can go a long way.
Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like what I'm hearing you say is that you need a high vibration. Not you, but men
What does
need
that
a
mean?
high vibration. So, I'm so glad you asked that. My cousin posted something or reposted something on Facebook, and it said signs of a high vibration person.
Okay.
Number one, animals feel safe in your presence.
Babies love me.
Okay. Number two, people stare at you in public.
Okay.
Number three, random strangers love to come to you and talk and tell you their life stories.
That's both of us.
If that ain't the truth,
That's both of us.
that is.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy of a room shift when you walk in.
Okay.
And number five, irritate toxic people just by being your true and authentic self.
I think that describes a good bit of both you and I. Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes, I would 100% agree with that. And for me, what it sounds like I'm hearing is that men need to come home or be with the sheer opposite of toxicity
Mm-hmm.
at all times in order for them to be able to breathe, to be their true selves. They need to be in the relationship. Is that accurate?
Yes. Look, I got told by somebody, it sounds like what you want is some type of submissive woman that ain't gonna say nothing to you, that's just gonna be quiet and be like, yes, yes, king, whatever you want, king, I'll do that, king, and not challenge this. I said, no, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. I didn't know how to voice this at the time. Now I do. What I'm saying, looking at all these cameras,
All the cameras.
what I'm saying is that I don't want to come home and feel like I'm having to battle the person that I'm living under the same roof with,
Yeah.
right? And I play team sports, so a lot of my analogies come from that sports realm of, in my opinion, when you can't have two head coaches. In my opinion, you can't have two captains. Like, there's co-captains and all this and that. But no, on times where I've been on co-captains, we sucked. I was a co-captain, and there was no one leadership type person. In my opinion, those successful teams, those successful units and stuff that works, you work under the direction of a shared vision,
Yeah.
which in sports is we want to win, right? But you have to have leadership come from one direction. When I would say that, hey, I want somebody that's submissive, I'm not saying that I need you to just be meek and look down when I walk in the room and don't say nothing to me and speak only when spoken to. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I don't want to come home and then, as I'm trying to call the plays, so to speak, you're throwing red flags, challenge flags
Penalty,
at
penalty,
everything
penalty,
that
yeah.
I've got going on, because on my side, speaking as a guy, is gonna feel like I can't get nowhere with somebody that's challenging me all the time on every single thing that I do. I would rather, as a man, fail spectacularly, but have got my thought in that direction all the way through, than to fail spectacularly and then have somebody be like, told you so. Support my failed spectacular dreams. That's all I ask for.
It's funny because you say that, and I go back to the lasting conversation that keeps up over and over and over again. about a submissive woman. And people really do have the image when men and women sometimes when they hear the term submissive woman, they think of a doormat, like someone who's just like getting walked over, dirt getting stepped on them all the time. When in reality, that is not what a submissive woman is. A submissive woman is someone who yields to her husband. He yields to her man. If you're driving and you're trying to get on the highway, there are yield signs that are telling you that someone has to. A submissive woman is a woman man. She doesn't get walked all over, but she yields. So, prime example, I wanted to make you dinner. Like I wanted to make sure that you had a good
Thank you for that. It was good, by the way.
welcome. But like that was something for me. No, and I was telling as I was getting waxed, I was telling Carmen the league. Sorry, I shouldn't have said her name, but I was telling her that for me, it means something to know that you have a home. Like that means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, especially since my day, even on a work day, which I'm a break now, even on a work day, it means a lot to me to know that you get an opportunity to have a meal that was prepared in the home. So that is something that it means I'm using my time that I could have been taking a nap or something like that, or scrolling through social media or watching television. I'm using my time so that you have something that you need, and I believe, right? That's what submission looks like, and I think people get that idea out of their head that that is supposed to be something else, not really supposed to.
Exactly, because I'm gonna tell you, I did not want that coming to America. Bark like a dog. Earth,
Earth.
earth, earth. Now jump on one leg, and now you're jumping on one leg and barking like a dog. And no, that is not what I mean when I say I want you to be submissive. And look, that conversation, people talk about that often too, because you'll hear, well, if you're a man, uh, you don't need to tell me to submit. I'm just going to submit. No,
Because y'all
no,
don't know what submission is.
no.
It's
These people don't
different.
know
Yeah.
what submission is, first of all. Two, look, fellas, be yourself. Don't try to be what you think a man should be. Be yourself. And trust that the person opposite of you respects that. That's the most you can do and the most you can ask for. I'm not going to ask anything else from her. But if she can't do the things that I am asking, she can go.
The train's going
Because the
this way.
train's going this way.
All right, last question. How, in general, can we promote a more inclusive, understanding approach to how we address men in relationships and considering how diverse in thought and just how big diversity is? How can we continue to more inclusive understanding?
I have a simple answer for this one.
Go.
There's a lot of people out there that are more open to expressing themselves. It's my hope that as those men are expressing themselves, they aren't talking on podcasts, live streams, at panels for things just to hear themselves talk. That they'll talk to hope maybe to give a perspective that's honest. Show up for those. When there's a men's panel going and you have different perspective of people, really listen to what those guys are saying. As ladies are sitting across from somebody that they're dating or talking to and things like that, really listen. It all boils down to listening and trying to have an understanding of what it is that men are saying. I'm not the same as my brother. My brother's not the same as my uncle. My uncle's not the same as his dad, right? Every person is different, but you should be able to listen to that person and have a general understanding of relationship dynamics in general, right? There are certain aspects that in general will have you go a long way. Can you listen? can you um can you communicate what you're actually thinking and feeling to me so that I can make a decision or something based on what you're communicating to me? Are you hurt by a past relationship that will prevent you from being able to do that? Are you hurt from a prior relationship that is going to cause you to do something because of what the prior relationship did, even though I didn't do it? Am I going to see that because of what somebody else did? I'm not going to stick around for that, but I'm old enough to have seen that and know what that is. And younger guys that are out there that are trying to navigate this may or may not have seen it to know how to navigate it themselves. So I hope that platforms like this, other ones that are out there, are at least giving what information that they can, and that people are tuned in to try to figure out um, how to help find a healthy relationship for them. So, to those ladies, hear men talk when they speak.
Yeah. Or
Really,
type.
or type, and really understand what it is that they're saying. Don't be so quick to dismiss what's going on. That post that has gone viral on our Instagram, it was refreshing to hear other men say, I'm going through that now.
I mean, it was sad, but yeah.
I went through that in the past, right? And these were guys that were older. One cat looked like he was in his 20s. Like, yo, that is real right there. I just went through that. That's crazy. It's crazy, but refreshing that men are using their voice because you hear the narrative so often that men can't use their voice. Why is he speaking on something? It's already a man's world. Like, he shouldn't, have to say anything about anything. Suck it up, Buttercup. Be a man. What did Pete write?
We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
So to wrap this up, I just want to thank you for sharing. Thank you for answering my questions. And thank you for being open about the needs of a man. Now, granted, you one man, you can't necessarily speak on behalf of everyone. What I did notice from that post was that a lot of men agreed that they feel like they either had to or they are currently doing that. And I'm gonna be honest, the comment that stood out to me, it was from this man. I'm gonna say young man because I'm almost 40, so I feel like everyone's a young man. This young man, his profile picture is him and his wife, said he's going through now in marriage.
I saw that.
And
yeah.
that resonated with in a mighty way. So I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Cameras are watching. I feel like you still have to walk on eggshells now in your current.
No. And you can attest to this. Early on, I said those specific words using eggshells. I said, I have walked on eggshells in a prior relationship. I will never walk on eggshells again. Never. I value my peace a lot more, and I won't do it.
All right. Last question of transparency because you're live. Living color. How do you feel about our relationship? Is this something that taken from our relationship that you feel is a tidbit to share with however many people that watching this episode, this snippet?
I've been told by people that I respect that this relationship has changed me and that it's allowed me to grow. And the common thing that people say when they say that is that I seem to be more vulnerable around you. I can admit, I was real closely guarded because I thought I would see a pattern in things. But some of that pattern started with who I was allowing to come into my space. And once I realized that, okay, I'm also picking certain types, when I decided to take myself off the market completely and really work on myself, the quality of people that came around improved, right? So, and I mean that with all respect due, that some of those early pickings weren't really quality people. It was me trying to serve a need at the time for what I thought that I needed, but I wasn't a healed guy in that time. I was a guy trying to find who I was and use people in the process. I'll say that. Use people in the process. Once I figured out who I was, I then literally eliminated all low quality women in my life. All. So for you, yeah, it's you are indeed a quality woman, and I respect that. I see that, and what people have told me is that I've torn down some of that, and I'm okay with that. On camera, the minute that you uh throw a pickaxe at that, it's going to break, and I have no grace on that.
To that, I will say you have clearly never seen people axe throwing. I can throw all I want to, it will hit nothing. It will hit absolute ricochet off of the floor.
About 2 years ago, I would have easily said, I'm just waiting on the shoe to drop. Now, I'm not living that way. I'm just gonna be me. It's my hope that you're you, and that shoe to drop ain't a way that I'm living or a way that my thought process goes. It's, you have the capacity to make this relationship work or not. I have the capacity to make this relationship work or not. And as long as we do the things that we say that we are gonna do, it can work. If not, it won't. It's that simple to me. It's that simple to me. We don't have to we don't have to overcomplicate this. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let you know what Pete said, and then I'll go ahead and wrap up. Give you time to like drink water and up and prepare yourself for our ending. So Pete's comment was, last I'm gonna ask you guys, when is the wedding?
When pigs fly.
Pigs get on airplanes all the time. Did you not see neighbors like happen? Just saying, baby. Just saying. So, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight for our weekly live. We love having these opportunities where we can come, where we can be with you all, where we can just chat and go through all the things. I'm trying to bounce between cameras. We absolutely love this. So, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are not familiar with our show, make sure you go ahead and check out our YouTube pages, our Instagram pages, our TikToks, our Facebook, whatever. We got something for every generation. So go check it out. Go to our link tree so that you can go ahead and follow us and catch up with all the things. This is our logo. It was designed by my good friend from elementary school. His name is Warren over at Prodigal Designs. It's kind of like Prodigal Son, Prodigal Designs, and phenomenal. The funniest thing about this is I only had one coworker who flat out said something. She thought I was just wearing a shirt with your name on it
Ah,
because she couldn't see the "and me" on the inside. Like it wasn't the thing that stood out, and I like that. Like I thought that was the first thing I thought. But y'all, we have so many good things that we talk about, and it's going to be real, like real talk. But it's also going to be relatable. It's going because we're just it's going to hold you and ourselves accountable for how we are in relationship. And then above all else is going to be loving. And you'll understand what I mean in a second. So thank you again for tuning in. We hope to see you all again next week, babe.
shout out to Will 4K over on YouTube, and he's Perry Productions on Facebook. He allows us to stream on his platform as well. He has a larger platform than us and giving us access to the people that support Perry Productions videos over there is dope. So, hey, Peter, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. He said Michelle's a great woman.
Aw, thank you. And you are an awesome videographer. Like, y'all, this isn't me, like, just, I don't plug people's stuff unless I truly believe it. So I'm not going to tell you about Prodigal Designs unless I truly believe that he's a great person and a great company that you should support. Likewise, I'm not going to tell you about Perry Productions and his skills if I thought he was trash, which he is not. His skills are absolutely phenomenal. And whatever you see happening right now, like, I highly recommend that you get on his book now before he's booked and busy.
Before he's booked and busy.
Because he is phenomenal at what he does. And y'all gonna wait, y'all gonna sleep on him and then try to holler at him in like 2 weeks because it's that short. Y'all gonna try to holler at him in 2 or 3 weeks and then be real upset with yourselves when he is booked up.
Trying to get him booked with Rick Ross, like the rapper Rick Ross.
Nice.
So, trying to make that happen. Oh, hey, Ricky Rose. Let me know how I'm supposed to holler at you, man.
We gonna at you. We gonna at you. Don't even worry about it. We don't even worry about it. But no, seriously. So thank you for all the support. Thank you for how y'all turn up in every week. Babe, you got anything else?
To Instagram, I'm gonna look at the Instagram cameras. Quality wasn't that great. I'm gonna figure out how to fix it. But if you did tune in, thank you. This was a trial run with Instagram Live, and we build better as we go along. So
yeah, we build planes over here. You heard him say he's retired Air Force. We build planes as we fly. Get used to it.
All right. Hey, let's end the show.
Let's end the show.
All right. Hey, we out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next Monday live. We'll have clips and other things on some of the other platforms. So just like she said earlier, hit the link tree, which is in the description, that has the link to all of our social media and TikTok. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Love you. Boop.
Boopity boop boop.